Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam satu Malaysia. Okay, today we want to present about the problem-based task subject ethical hacking. This is our group. This is my name, Muhammad Irfan bin Khalil Anwar, and my matric number 01 GDT 18F 2004. The second one is Muhammad Aizudin bin Sentimen. The matric number is 01 GDT 18F 2000X. The third one is Nur Ahmad Adli bin Khalid. The matric number is 01 DDT 18F 2066. And the last one is 1 Muhammad Danish Fakri bin Suhaimi. The matrix number is 01 DDT 18F 2084. Okay, we from Group Miracle. Okay, in this report we have the table contents. The first one is introduction, second one is content, the third one is conclusion, the fourth reference, the fifth is demonstration video link, and the last one is the rubrics. I would like to explain about the introduction. In this era COVID-19, information is considered to be an economic resource, a key feature in the concept of evolution. It is an essential tool for the success or the failure at the individual, organization, social, national, or international level. Therefore, data or information security has become a very important issue and growing concept that affects all sectors without the slightest exception. The importance of data security nowadays is as critical as the amount, content, and sometimes confidentiality of the information put out there. Nowadays, almost everything is posted on the internet. People like to post daily life on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and others. Hackers and other nefarious characters can fight to get access to this information and use it for their purpose. In fact, everyone needs cyber security because almost everyone has personal information available through the internet. A cyber attack is an attempt to disable computer, steal data, or use a breach computer system to launch additional attack. System cyber criminals can use a variety of methods to launch a cyber attack, including malware, phishing, ransomware, management attack, and others methods. Cyber attack target a resource, physical or logical, that has one or more confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the resource may be in compromise. In some cyber attack, the damaged data exposed or control of resource may extend beyond the one intelligent independent as vulnerable, including gaining access to an organization Wi-Fi network, social media operating system, or sensitive information like credit card or bank account numbers. Then we decide to choose one attack that possible happen to the ELISA computer, which is a phishing attack. Phishing is a popular cyber attack technique and continues to be one of the biggest cyber security threats. The goal is to trick the email reception into believing that the message is something they want or need, for example, a request from their bank, for instance, or a note from someone in their company, and click a link or video and attachment. The attackers measure as a trusted entity of some kind, often a real person or company the victim might do business with. Therefore, we will write about how to prevent phishing in this report and the problem that will be encountered if not prevented. Okay, the next one, Aizizai will continue.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Izzuddin Satiman. My metric number is 01 DDT 18F 2008. Okay, I will presenting the contents. how the attacks can happen. Okay, phishing is a type of social engineering attack often used to steal user data, including login credentials and credit card numbers. It occurs when an attacker masquerading as a trusted entity dupes a victim into opening an email, instant message, or text message. The recipient is then tricked into clicking a malicious link, which can lead to the installation of malware. The freezing of the system as part of the ransomware attack or the revealing of sensitive information. An attack can have devastating results for individuals. These include unauthorized purchase, the stealing of funds, or identity theft. Moreover, phishing is often used to gain a foothold in corporate or governmental network as part of a larger attack, such as an advanced persistent threat event. In this latter scenario, employees are compromised in order to bypass security perimeters, distribute malware inside a closed environment, or gain privileged access to secure data. The spear phishing email will generally contain a link or an attachment which the recipient is asked to click on. This will appear harmless or even familiar, but clicking on the link will actually result in connection to a malicious site or start to run malware embedded in the attachment. According to the situation that Alisa is having, she received a message at work from her friend, Lina, with a link to view picture from her recent vacation, and the problem occurred when she clicked to the link as she wanted to see Lina's photo. Bestowing to the situation, Alisa reported to Lina as she thought that her link was broken. Because when she clicked the link, a new page did not load, but it became more suspicious when Lina did not respond to her. To sum up everything, we decided to choose phishing is the best answer according to Alisa's story. According to the IT technician from Alisa's office, he investigated an abnormal read in the company's network traffic, and he suspected that the hacker had gained access to the company system by bypassing the network security system via Alisa's negligence. Okay, next, risk and countermeasure. The dangers of being phished are now widely known, but the extent of the damage is often misunderstood. Successful phishing involves the scammer gaining unauthorized access to an organization's private information, which they then use for personal gain. Some of the most common pieces of information that phishers steal is bank account detail. Once obtained, phishers may be able to use this information to withdraw money from the account or to make an online transaction using the victim's money. But bestowing the Alisa situations, it is more to attack an organization as the fisher bait Alisa to click to the malicious link attached to the message that's sent to her. Attacks are therefore carefully planned with often a significant amount of time spent researching who would be the best target using social media sites such as Facebook and LinkedIn to obtain details of the individual's activities, histories, interests, hobbies, and etc. Some of the most information gleaned from this research can then be included when drafting the email or message to ensure that it is convincing as possible to the recipient. The same situation are we expected to Alisa's situation. The fisher scam the company by impersonating Alisa's friend and sending email or message to Alisa. The main problem is Alisa's company will more vulnerable to such an attack, typically sustain severe financial losses in addition to declining market share, reputation to the customer, and consumer trust. Depending on scope, a phishing attempt might escalate into a security incident from which a business will have a difficult time recovering. The intended result is maybe a malicious software is installed on a license computer, which, for example, can record all keystroke over a period of time. This is then available to the attacker, potentially providing details of user credential of large amount of sensitive financial information or the other enterprise data. Okay, so the most effective measure to safeguard our business against being the victim of a successful phishing attack is staff security awareness. If the employees such as Alisa know how to spot suspicious emails, they won't be inclined to open the attachment and then inadvertently introduce the malware into the system. If they do accidentally click a link in an email or open an attachment, they should be encouraged to contact the IT department as quickly as possible and disconnect their device from the network to try to mitigate the damage. The IT department can access if the hacker has acquired unauthorized access to the system. They can also tell the rest of the organization of the potential breach so that the others can vigilant for similar scam. And the main thing that one organization or company need to persuade to counter any phishing attacks is the IT technician or IT professional in that organization need to install anti-phishing software to all computer or laptop in that organization, because anti-phishing software protects the system against phishing emails, malware, suspected link, suspected sites, link, and etc. Such software is officially designed to detect suspect emails and attachments from reaching their targets and neutralize them. Next, the IT technicians also need to use anti-phishing toolbar to all the network browser installed in the computer from the organization. It is because anti-phishing toolbar is another layer of protection between the phishing technique and your system. An anti-phishing toolbar on our browser scans the site that we are visiting and warns of any suspected phishing site. So other than that, if they do accidentally click a link in an email or open an attachment, they should be encouraged to contact the IT department as quickly as possible. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Tourism. My name is Norman Bin Khalid. Matric number 013318F2066. For the methodology, we choose the OSSTMM, which is Open Source Security Testing Methodology Manual. It provides a methodology for a true security test, range referred as an OSSTMM audit. As a methodology, it is designed to be consistent and repeatable. It allows for any security tester to contribute ideas for performing more accurate, actionable, and efficient security tests. Further, it allows for the free dissemination of information and intellectual property. A majority of developer and IT teams base their firewall and network on this manual and the guideline it provides. While this manual does not advocate for a particular network protocol or software, it highlights the best practice and the steps that should be taken to ensure the security of your network. To be a straightforward tools for the implementation and documentation of a security test, further assistance for those who need help in understanding and implementing this methodology is available at the ISECOM website. For phase A, induction phase, the analyst begins the audit with an understanding of the audit requirement, the scope, and the constraint of the auditing of the scope. The test type is best determined after this phase. Step A1, posture review, which is known the scope and what tests must be done required if phase C is to be properly conducted. Step A2, logistic, know the limitation of the audit itself. This will minimize error and improve efficiency. Step A3, Active Detection Verification. Note the restriction imposed on interactive tests. This is required to properly conduct phase B and D. For phase B interaction phase, security tests require knowing the scope in relation to interaction with target conveyed to interaction with asset. This phase will define the scope. Step B4, visibility audit. Know what target exists and how they interact with the scope, if at all. And that all missing target is also unresponsive target. However, an unresponsive target is not necessarily a missing target. Step B5, access verification. The access point is the main point of any asset interaction. Verifying an access point exists is one part of determining its purpose. Full verification requires knowing all there is to know about the access point. Trust verification, trust-building processes are often very limited, where older processes have a seemingly chaotic evolution to the outsider. Knowing trust relationship between target will show the age or value of the interaction. Step B7, control verification. Most processes are defined in process to a necessary interaction, and some remain long after the interaction stops or has changed. Phase C, inquest phase. The various types of value are determined from misplaced and mismanaged information as an asset are brought to light. Step C8, process verification. Know the controllers and their routine for the control. Most processes will have defined set of rules, however, actual operation reflect any efficiency, laziness, or paranoia which may redefine the rule. So it is not just that the process is there but also how it works. Step C9, configuration verification. This step explores the default condition under which the target of regularity to understand the intent. Many regulations require information regarding how something is planned to work, and this is not always evident in the execution of the work. Step C10, property validation. Know the status of property ownership right. Step C11, segregation review. Know which privacy right apply and to what extent the uncovered personally identifiable information can be classified based on this requirement. Exposure verification. The word on the street has value. Uncover information on the target and asset from public sources, including that from the target themselves. Step C13, competitive intelligence scouting. There may be more value in information from processes and target than the asset which they are protecting. Uncover information that by itself or in aggregate can influence competitive business decisions. For phase D, intervention phase. These tests are focused on the resources the target requires in the scope. Those resources can be switched, changed, overload, or staffed to cause penetration or disruption. Disruption do not affect responses of less intrusive tests, and because the information for making tests may not be known until the other phase have been carried out. Step D14, quarantine verification. Determine the effectiveness of authentication and subjugation control in terms of black and white list quarantine. For step D15, privilege audit. Determine the effectiveness of authorization on authentication in the manipulation and subjugation control in terms of depth and role. Step D16 Survivability Validation determine the effectiveness of continuity and resilience through the verification of denial of service and denial of interactivity. Phase E Alert and Log Review Phase. The final module E17 of an survey is required to verify prior tests which provided no interactivity back to the analyst. Step E17 and survey. Learn what part of the audit left a usable and reliable thread. That's all from me for methodology.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Muhammad Danish Fakri bin Suhaimi. My metric number is 01DDT18F2084. I will talk about scope in this PBT. So this is the scope. First is IT technician. The scope, this is the job that need to do by IT technician. First is troubleshooting hardware and software issues. If there's any problem with hardware and software, IT technician will fix it. Second, IT technician will install and upgrading antivirus software to ensure security at the user level. Next is performing tests and evaluations on new software and hardware. IT technician will test new software. Next is providing support to users and being the first point of contact for error reporting. And lastly, managing technical documentation. Next is employee. This is what employee need to do. Know how to spot suspicious emails. Communicate best practices for selecting passwords. Set policies for guarding sensitive business information. Maintain physical security of company and personal device. And lastly, always practice good security. So this is all that employee need to do. So next is system scope. First is scanning and enumeration. Second is identify security vulnerabilities in an application by evaluating the system. And the last one is identify security vulnerabilities in network with various malicious techniques. So this is the scope for this report.
Assalamualaikum to Cik Income. My name is Nur Mali Malek. Today I will explain about the design of the penetration testing plan. The pen tester will go through Alisa PC and with the DHCP assign IP address inside Supernova network. It will go through the wireless access point, and from wireless access point the penetration test computer, which is Arista PC with the attack application, will go through router by it evaluate the network address of the incoming packet through the IP demarc. At IP demarc, the dividing line where your where Arista PC service provider equipment connect with her own, and the Amazon route tree will configure DNS help and check the route traffic to healthy endpoint before go through the elastic balancing. And at the elastic load balancing will distribute incoming application traffic across multiple. It will help to spot the suspicious email from the web app server. This is the penetration testing plan design. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is tool. So we decided to choose Nexus to do this lab penetration scanning network. So I would like to explain about Nexus. Nexus is a tool that has been used by security professionals for many years. This tool is a vulnerability scanner that allows network security professionals and administrators to audit the network by scanning a range of IP address and identifying vulnerabilities with a series of plugins. These plugins are written using language called the Nexus Attack Scripting Language (NASL). So I would like to demo how to penetration scanning network using the Nexus tool. The first one is we need to install the Nexus version 8.1.1 on official website www.tenable.com. After the installation process, the Nexus will open automatically in your default browser like this, and the screen of the Nexus will appears, and we need to click on the connect via SSL. After that, we need to create account to continue the process. So we need to click continue to the next process. After successful registration, the download process of plugin will continue. Nexus will start the download process of plugin and it will install them. It will take a longer time to install plugin and initializations. Okay, this is some of the picture where we install the installation process. So the next step is the Nexus login will appears like this, and we need to enter username and password that we create in registration, and we need to click the sign in. Okay, if you see this, my username is Akil Boss. My password you need to put here and just click the sign in. After successfully sign in, the Nexus Windows appears as shown in this following screenshot like this. So this is actually your account. Okay, to add a new policy, click policy and add the new policy. The policy template will show like this. So if you can see here, this is a sum of the plugin that we can use to scan the penetration using Nexus tool. Okay, to configure the credential of the policy, we need to click the credential tab shown in the left pane of add policy. So we need to click the add policy. So to select the required plugin, click the plugin tab in the left pane of the add policy. After that, click advanced scanning to open the add scan window, and we need to input the field name, description, folder, and scan target. In scan target, we need to enter the IP address of our network and click save at the bottom left window. After that, the scan launch and start scanning network. So this is the process. After the scan is complete, the report will appear on the screen. We need to double click on the local network to view the detailed scan reports. So this is some example report that we can use. This is some of host. This is some of the vulnerability we can see. We can see the detail about the vulnerability. This is some of the history in we scan the IP address. So after that, we need to click sign out to close the Nexus tool. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Next is Gantt chart. This is Gantt chart. The Gantt chart shows a duration of time that it takes for the project. Basically, the Gantt chart is referred from methodology. So this is induction phase. It takes 36 days. It has posture review, logistics, active detection verification, phase exit review. This is what we need to do in this project. It takes 36 days for induction phase. Next is interaction phase. It has visibility audit, access verification, trust verification, control verification, and phase exit review. Interaction phase only takes 30 days. So next phase is inquest phase. Inquest phase has process verification, configuration verification, property validation, segregation review, exposure verification, competitive intelligence scouting, phase exit review. Inquest phase takes 57 days. So next is intervention phase. It has quarantine verification, privilege audit, survivability validation, phase exit review. Intervention takes 37 days. So the next phase is alert and log review phase. It only takes 10 days. So this is our Gantt chart, and this is our diagram for the Gantt chart. So the red line is the critical path. The critical path describes the longest time that the project can take. If any critical path takes longer than the time you allocated, the project completion date will be affected and the project will take longer than expected. So that is why this is red, critical path. So this is our Gantt chart for this project. This is conclusion for our project. What we can learn from what happened to Alisa. In a nutshell, we should not click to any suspicious link that's sent to us. Without further ado, we as students must need to have the knowledge to prevent or avoid phishing scams. Firstly, we need to have installed an anti-phishing toolbar, as the toolbar will alert us if we stumble upon a malicious site, as it functionally can run quick checks on the site that we are visiting and compare them to lists of non-phishing sites. So the toolbar is function for run a quick check on site that we're visiting, so we will know if there's any phishing site. It will alert us. Other than that, we need to verify any site security. It is because before submitting any information, make sure the site URL begins with HTTPS and there should be a closed log icon near the address bar. So to make sure that the site is safe and secure, the site URL begin with HTTPS and there should be a closed log icon near the address bar. Check for the site security certificate as well. If we get a message stating a certain website may contain malicious files, do not open the website and never download files from suspicious emails or website. Up next, we need to keep our browser up to date. Security patches are released for popular browsers all the time. They are released in response to the security loopholes that phishers and other hackers inevitably discover and exploit. So it is very important for us to keep our browser up to date. At the same time, we need also be wary of any pop-ups. Many popular browsers allow you to block pop-ups. We can allow them on a case-by-case basis. Somehow, we also need to never give out personal information. As we all know, we should never share personal or financially sensitive information over internet. To sum all the thing up, if we out of clue if certain mails or message or pop-ups, we can simply just ask other people who are knowledgeable or have any experience or just ask community on internet. So we can block pop-ups because pop-ups pop-ups contain virus or anything dangerous for us as a user. So this is our conclusion for the project, and that's it from us. Thank you.